2 years ago in Maybrook, a teacher named Justine stepped into her classroom and found it completely empty except for Alex Lilly. The night before, at exactly 2:17 in the morning, Justine's other 17 students left their homes and vanished into the darkness, running with their arms stretched straight out. Security systems were set off, leaving behind plenty of footage showing them leaving, but there were no signs of any kidnapper. The police questioned Alex and Justine again and again in every possible way, but neither of them had any answers. For the next month, the school stayed closed because of the investigation. Multiple searches in the area turned up nothing. When the time came to reopen the school, the town gathered for a meeting led by Principal Marcus. Almost everyone blamed Justine for what happened, insisting she must have done something that made the kids run away. Justine tried to tell the parents that she cared deeply about the children, but they only kept hurling insults at her. Marcus tried to stand up for her, and the parents accused him of being involved as well. A detective had to escort her out of the building to protect her from the angry crowd. Later, Justine goes to a store to buy liquor, since she has been drinking heavily since the incident. All of a sudden, she gets a call from an unknown number and hears a voice threatening her, so she hangs up right away. When Justine leaves, a junkie named James asks her for some change, but she ignores him. Later, at home, Justine hears the doorbell ring, but she's too scared to answer it. She checks the peephole in the window but doesn't see anyone there. Then someone knocks on the door, so Justine finally steps outside, only to find a word painted on her car. In the morning, Justine tries to scrub the graffiti off but fails, so she has no choice but to drive to school with the car still marked. Marcus puts her on a leave of absence and tells her she should focus on her mental health. Alex has already been transferred to another class and is doing fine. Justine wants to talk to him, but Marcus won't allow it, saying that Justine has a habit of crossing professional boundaries. He brings up things like her hugging a crying student and driving a kid home after he missed the bus. An overwhelmed Justine goes back to her car and completely breaks down. After that, Justine files a report at the police station about the vandalism and the threatening phone calls. Her ex-boyfriend Paul walks by, and they share a stiff, awkward moment. That night, Justine and Paul meet at a bar, and Paul says he's worried about her situation, but she tells him she can handle herself. Paul also admits that he and his wife are no longer together. They end up going back to Justine's place and sleeping together. In the morning, Justine drives Paul home and tells him that the police aren't doing enough about the case. Later, Justine goes to the school and waits for the bus to drop the kids off. When Alex gets off, she follows him to his house. Justine rings the bell and knocks on the door, but no one answers. All the windows are covered with newspapers, so a worried Justine opens the gate and goes to the backyard. One of the windows has a small gap in the newspapers that lets her see inside, and she jumps when she notices two people. She steps back and trips over some things, but the noise doesn't seem to alert anyone. Justine looks inside again and realizes that Alex's parents are sitting on the couch, completely motionless. Justine calls Marcus to tell him what she's seen, and Marcus yells at her for following Alex. At the grocery store, Justine is suddenly attacked by Paul's wife, Donna, who knows that Justine was with Paul the night before. Justine tries to explain that Paul told her he was single, but Donna calls her a liar while she dumps a bottle of alcohol all over her. The clerk has to pull Donna away. That night, Justine dreams she's back in school. When she walks into her classroom, all the kids have their heads down on their desks. Suddenly, Alex looks up and shows that he's wearing clown makeup. As he smiles in a disturbing way, Justine wakes up. There's a strange sound in the house, but when she looks around, she doesn't find anything, so she lies back down, only to scream when she sees a creepy red-haired woman on the ceiling. In a split second, the woman vanishes. The next day, Justine waits for Alex to get home from school. She asks if he's okay, and he says he is before walking away. When Justine tries to follow him, Alex shouts at her and runs into his house. Justine then keeps ringing the bell and knocking on the door, but still nobody answers. After that, she spends the whole day sitting in her car waiting for someone to come out and eventually falls asleep. In the evening, someone finally comes out of the house and gets into the car, only to cut off a lock of Justine's hair. Meanwhile, Archer has been trapped in deep depression since his son vanished and keeps rewatching the footage from the security cameras. At work, he's completely unfocused and keeps making simple mistakes. He often goes to the police station to ask for updates, and Captain Locke has to tell him there are still no new leads. Archer believes Justine is hiding something, and Loach points out there's no real reason to think she's involved at all. During the school meeting, Archer is one of the parents who first lashes out at Justine, and he's also the one who vandalizes her car. The depression gets so heavy that Archer starts sleeping in his son's bedroom. One night, he jolts awake, and when he gets out of bed, he sees himself still sleeping, which means this is a dream. He hears a sound and follows it, only to see the front door opening by itself. Archer rushes outside and sees his son running away, so he goes after him. But after pushing through the bushes, he somehow ends up back at home. As the boy goes inside, a massive weapon appears above the house with the number 217. Archer goes back to the bedroom and breaks down when he finds his son sleeping in the bed, as he apologizes for not being a more affectionate father. The boy's face suddenly turns into the creepy red-haired woman, and Archer wakes up. In the morning, Archer notices the tower in the woods and gets an idea. He grabs a map and draws a line connecting his home to the direction Alex ran. Then he visits other houses where children went missing and asks to see their footage. The first parent refuses, but the next one agrees. Archer notes the direction that child ran and marks it on the map with another line. He figures the place where the lines cross has to be the answer. On his way there, Archer spots Justine at the gas station and stops to yell at her. At that moment, Justine notices Marcus running with blood on his face and his arms stretched out like the kids. He suddenly slams into her and tries to choke her, so Archer tries to pull him away, but Marcus knocks him down. This gives Justine a chance to run and hide inside the store. Marcus tries to follow her, so Archer kicks him, but Marcus tackles him instead and tries to choke him too. Going back a few days, Paul is on patrol and sees James acting suspicious, so he tails him. He catches him trying to break into a house and calls out to him, which makes James run. A chase starts, and at first Paul follows him in his car, but soon there's no space for the vehicle and he has to keep going on foot. Paul tackles James to the ground and cuffs him, while James says he was breaking into his own place because he lost his keys. When Paul searches James's pockets, he accidentally sticks his finger on a used needle, so in rage he punches James. He runs back to the car to grab the first aid kit and realizes his dash cam recorded everything. A panicked Paul then lets James go, telling him they're even now, but also warning him to leave town. Later at the station, Loach tells Paul that everything will be fine as long as James doesn't report what happened. That night, Paul goes on his date with Justine. When he gets home in the morning, he finds that Donna came back earlier than expected, and his awkward behavior makes her quickly figure out what he did. Later at work, Paul sees James outside the station, so he yells at him. James immediately runs away, and Paul chases him in his car after unplugging the dash cam. Going back in time again, it's shown that James is a junkie living in a tent in the woods. When he runs out of substances, he goes into town to look for unlocked cars and steal whatever he can find inside. Then he sells what he takes for a few dollars. When Paul spots him, James is trying to break into a house to steal, just like the cop thought. Later, James notices that the Lily house has its windows covered and that their mail has been blown away because nobody has picked it up, so he assumes the place is empty. He climbs the wall to reach a window and crawls into a room packed with furniture. In the living room, James is shocked to see Alex's parents sitting on the couch with scars on their faces. Neither of them moves, even when James gets very close, so he just keeps stealing things. There's a noise upstairs that James decides to ignore. After taking everything he can, James gets ready to leave, only to hear a voice coming from the basement. He goes down and is stunned to find all the missing children standing completely still. They turn around at the same time, and a terrified James bolts back upstairs. After he pushes some furniture to block the door, Alex's parents stand up and come after him. So James starts running again and gets out of the house. While selling the stolen items at the pawn shop, James notices on a poster that there's a huge reward for any information about the missing children. After using the money to buy more of his favorite substance, James calls the police to tell them where the kids are. The officer doesn't believe him and tells him to come to the station to talk. When James is about to go in, Paul spots him and yells at him, so James runs off to hide in the forest. He's horrified when he sees the red-haired woman waving at him and rushes back to hide in his tent. Moments later, a shadow shows up outside the tent, so James stabs at it with his needles. It turns out to be Paul, who drags James out of the tent and points his gun at him. James saves himself by shouting that he knows where the kids are. Following James's directions, Paul makes it to the Lily house. From the car, James watches in disbelief as Paul rings the bell and someone opens the door to let him inside. Hours go by, and it isn't until night that Paul comes back out. He runs toward the car like he's in a trance and drags James out while snarling like an animal. James screams for help, but no one hears him before he's pulled into the house. Going back in time again, Marcus is in the supermarket when he gets a call from Justine telling him what she saw. Marcus promises to speak to Alex's parents and look into it. However, when the day of the meeting comes, the one who shows up is the red-haired woman. This is Alex's Aunt Gladys, who says that Alex's parents are sick and can't leave the house. Marcus explains that there has been a welfare complaint about Alex and that it's his duty to speak to the child's legal guardians, so he will either have to visit the house or call the authorities. The next day, Gladys shows up at Marcus's home. When she asks for some water, she insists it be served in a bowl. Gladys wants to know if Marcus has contacted the authorities, and when he says no, she takes out a ribbon she stole from his office and wraps it around a strange-looking branch, which she then covers with her own blood. When Marcus's husband, Terry, comes closer with a cloth for her wound, Gladys cuts off a lock of his hair. Marcus grabs the phone to call the police, but Gladys rings a bell instead. This puts him into a trance and makes him drop the phone. As his body begins to shake, Gladys wraps the hair around the stick as well before snapping it. Suddenly, Marcus jumps on Terry and starts choking him while vomiting a strange black liquid all over his face. Then he repeatedly slams his head into Terry's face, killing him. Marcus doesn't stop until Gladys throws the stick into the bowl. After washing the branch, Gladys removes Terry's hair and wraps Justine's around it before breaking it again. This sends Marcus off to kill her. At the gas station, the fight happens. After knocking Archer down, Marcus rushes into the store to go after Justine. She tries to hide in the employee room, but it's locked, so Marcus traps her. At that moment, Archer tackles Marcus into the fridge, and Justine uses the chance to run back to her car. Marcus chases her and smashes a window before she manages to drive off, and he runs after the car. Soon, Archer comes out as well and joins the chase. He drives down the street but has to stop when he sees Marcus get hit by another vehicle. The other driver screams when she sees Marcus's head smeared all over the road. Later at the hospital, Archer tells the police everything. On his way out, he finds Justine waiting for him to thank him for saving her. After everything that happened, Archer no longer believes she's guilty. He tells her that Marcus was running the same way the kids did and shows her the map. Justine immediately recognizes the marked spot as Alex's house. Another jump in time shows Alex before the disappearances. He's a very shy and lonely kid, and his classmates constantly bully him for being weird. His parents are a happy, loving couple who one day tell him that his Aunt Gladys will be staying with them because she's sick. Gladys arrives in the middle of the night. In the morning, Alex peeks into Gladys's room and sees a red wig and a small tree with strangely shaped branches. In the bed, Gladys is staring right back at him, so Alex quickly shuts the door. After school, Alex waits to be picked up, but nobody shows up, so he has to walk home. In the living room, he finds his parents sitting at the table as if they're in a trance. They say a few words to him, but they sound cold and mechanical. Then a healthy-looking Gladys welcomes him home and tells him that his parents are fine. A terrified Alex won't let her touch him and splashes some water on his dad's face, but he just wipes it away. Gladys scolds him and sends him to his room without dinner. The next morning, Alex finds everyone at the table. His parents have red eyes and won't move. Gladys tells Alex not to tell anyone at school that she's there or that his parents are resting. As a warning, she snaps a branch over a bowl of water and forces the parents to grab forks. They stab themselves in the face again and again, and Alex can't stop them. They only freeze when Gladys drops the branch into the bowl. She reminds Alex not to say anything, threatening to do even worse things if he does. The next day, Alex discovers that Gladys has thrown all her furniture into his parents' room, and now she sits on the floor performing her rituals. Alex has to heat up some soup and feed his parents. For the next few days, Alex repeats the same routine. He goes to school, gets groceries afterward, and feeds his family. One night, Alex hears Gladys call for him, and he goes to her room to find her in terrible shape, throwing up into a pot. She explains that she's very sick and that his parents were making her better, but it's not working anymore. To help her, she needs Alex to bring her one object from each of his classmates. The next morning, while all the kids are in gym class, Alex sneaks into the classroom and takes the name tags from the students' personal bins. Justine soon catches him, so Alex pretends he just forgot something. A concerned Justine points out that he's been quieter than usual lately and offers to listen, but Alex insists he's fine. Later at home, Alex leaves the name tags at Gladys's door. In the middle of the night, he wakes up when he hears a noise. He goes downstairs and finds Gladys crushing the tags into a bowl. She spits in it and throws in a match before ringing a bell. At that moment, all of Alex's classmates run out of their homes and enter Alex's house. When the investigation begins, Gladys puts makeup on Alex's dad's face. During the interrogation, she tells the police that he had a stroke and can't speak, so she's taking care of the family. Knowing the police will search the house, Gladys makes Alex clean it up and remove the newspapers from the windows. Then she cuts the kids' hair for a spell to make them hide in the forest for a while. After that, Alex has to feed the kids along with his parents. One day, he comes home after school and sees a police car outside. When he enters the house, he finds Paul and James standing in the middle room. He runs upstairs to hide and is stopped by Gladys, who announces that they're leaving town the next day. She also tells him not to cross the salt line by her door, which is guarded by his parents. Minutes later, Justine and Archer park outside the house. They see the door open and Paul come out. He waves at them before going back inside. The two decide to follow him, which Alex watches from the window. In the living room, Paul makes another gesture and Justine steps closer, accidentally crossing a salt line. Suddenly, James tackles Archer, who starts beating him, but it doesn't seem to hurt him at all. Paul goes after Justine, chasing her into the kitchen, where she throws a pan at his face. He doesn't even react and jumps over the table to grab her. She grabs a peeler and slices the skin on his face, but that doesn't hurt him either, and he just keeps choking her. Upstairs, Alex ignores all the screaming and crosses the salt line, which makes his parents unfreeze and run after him. Alex runs to his room and locks the door, so his parents start pounding through the wood. When they break in, Alex rushes into the bathroom through the shared door. Then he uses the exit to go back to the hallway. Next, he runs and hides in Gladys's bedroom. He can hear his parents breaking through that door too, so he quickly grabs a branch from the tree and hides in the private bathroom. Alex takes some of his blood and smears it on the branch. Meanwhile, Archer keeps kicking and punching James, who keeps getting back up and coming after him. Eventually, James manages to slam Archer through the basement door, revealing all the children. Justine manages to grab Paul's gun and shoots him in the neck, but he's still standing as a black liquid pours out of the hole. This leaves Justine with no choice but to shoot Paul in the head. Then she rushes to the basement and shoots James as well. A desperate Archer starts looking at all the children, searching for his son. He's suddenly grabbed by Gladys, who rips the necklace from his neck. Seconds later, Archer surprises Justine from behind and starts choking her while Gladys watches. At the same time, Alex pulls a hair from Justine's wig and wraps it around the branch before snapping it. Suddenly, the kids burst out of the basement and go after Gladys, who quickly runs out of the house. As the children crash through the windows, Gladys runs through the neighbor's house too, so the kids smash their windows and doors as well. All the neighbors watch in shock as Gladys sprints through the neighborhood with a pack of kids chasing her, climbing over fences and shattering any glass in their way. In the end, one girl manages to tackle Gladys to the ground, and the kids pile on top of her and finally kill her by tearing her apart. Gladys's death makes Archer and Alex's parents finally break free from the spell. Justine goes upstairs and finds Alex hugging his parents. Archer follows the trail of destruction to reunite with his son. After everything is over, Alex's parents are institutionalized and he goes to live with a kinder aunt. The other children are reunited with their families, but it takes them a long time before they can speak again. Thanks for watching, like and leave a comment, and most important, subscribe to ScenePhoria for more videos.